Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay. So first, Chelsea told me that I had to prepare something. It wasn't an option, right? So I had to prepare something, specifically speaking to the youth. And then I get in this room and I see all these amazing, not youth, non-youth, adults. So I felt like I should say something to you guys first, in particular about my experience with OPP. What I found out tonight is that Yo Hartford turned into OPP. I was a part of both, right? Yo Hartford changed my life so much, in particular because my mother kept me on punishment, and the only way I was able to get out of the house was to attend Yo Hartford. I had dreams of being a fashion designer, working in the fashion industry, and Yo Hartford paid for me to travel back and forth to New York on a weekly basis to attend classes at FIT, Fashion Institute of Technology, a really prestigious fashion school in New York City, right? Did I appreciate that at the time? No. Why would I? But in hindsight, absolutely, right? I have all of these different experiences that was a result of my involvement with Yo Hartford and then OPP, and then OPP. That I can then go into the real world, and even if it's just a, hey, I did this, people are extremely impressed by it, right? And they want to learn more, and they want to do more. So again, I'm going to get to the youth, right? But specifically speaking to the supporters of OPP, I want you guys to understand how important this program is. So Hartford is, I come from the early 2000s Hartford, and it was rough. It was rough back then, right? I was a fighter, right? I was a fighter. I was out on the street. You probably got pictures of me somewhere, right? True. And the YDSs at Yo Hartford, and then eventually, as I aged out into OPP, wrapped their arms around me, empowered me, and now I have my own business. I have several businesses, honestly, but I didn't really know what to put in a bio. So I own property here in Connecticut, I own property in Maryland, in DC, and Virginia. In addition to my business, which encompasses giving back to the youth as well, right? Because I recognize how important it was, because had these folks not given back to me, I really cannot tell you where I would be, right? But right now, my story, apparently, I just found this out, is impressive, right? I work at the Pentagon currently, right? I have 1 year left in law school to complete. And I did end up going to fashion school for fashion design at Parsons, which at the time was the #1 school in the world for fashion design. Wow. Thank you, OPP. Oh, and funny story, Hector, I thought you were a youth back in the day when I was there. I had no idea. And then I'm like, CEO, what? I was like, the times have changed. But I had no idea, sir. But thank you for thinking of me. And then again, when I found out I was honored, I blamed my mother. I thought she had something to do with it. I called. I said, hey, did you tell somebody to do this? And then Jadea, she was the second culprit. Okay. So that's my piece to the adults. Now to the youth. Growing up in Hartford, born and raised, I ultimately moved out, right? Traveled the world with the Air Force specifically. And I'm in DC. Absolutely love it. But while here, Hartford is my home. Like, I love it. I love it here, right? But personally, I could not succeed here because of the things that I enjoy, right? The things that I love. Every economy isn't there to support that, right? So you can love a place, go away, and do your best to support it. I do that, right? I have no idea what my daughter's doing behind me, so but growing up, we listened to Queensbridge rappers. Right. Nas, Mobb Deep. And from time to time, right, living in the world that I live in, I have to go back to those. I have to go back to the music because it keeps me grounded. It removes the imposter syndrome, right? Because it lets me know, hey, you are everything that you think you are. Keep going, right? It gives you, it motivates me, right? Shout out to anybody who loves Nas.
I'm doing this for $20.
Because I hear by myself. So there are certain songs that I am totally obsessed with. And the thing about our rap, can't speak for y'all rap, but our rap, through even though they talked about life experiences, what we were going through, in it, they kind of, if you ever heard the term, put the medicine in the candy, that's what our rap did for us, right? So they would have biblical verses and real knowledge that they imparted on us. And honestly, you knew it, and then 5 years later, 10 years later is when you realize that you actually knew this already. So coming from the streets of Hartford, like when I say I'm from the streets of Hartford, I'm from the streets of Hartford. Westland Street, Mansfield Street, like the streets of Hartford. And those gems that these rappers kind of like put on us, so just the things that you learned being out there, is what ultimately makes you successful in the real world, right? But nobody tells you that. Like, that's the truth. Nobody tells you that. The things that you actually learn growing up, running around and partying with your friends, and I hate to say it this way, but it's the truth, dodging bullets, right? It's trying to stay away from the drugs and all the things. Those lessons that you learn is what make you successful in the workplace, right? I'm an E7 in the Air Force, right? I don't know if you guys know what that means. That just means like, wait, yeah! That just means there's 2 more ranks. The only reason I'm not an E8 is because I chose not to be. It was like, you're not setting me up like that. But the only reason, and I did that in 9 years, which is like, it's not unheard of, right? Make the face. Yeah, I did it in 9 years, sis. I did it in 9 years, which is not a real thing. It's not a real thing. It's like, it's really praiseworthy. But my point is in saying this, is I took those lessons that I learned growing up in the streets of Hartford and from Yo Hartford and from OPP, combined all of that together and made it work for me. I know I'm talking to you specifically, but that's because I have your attention. I'm sorry, but I'm talking to all of the youth. I made it work for me, right? So going back to before my phone died, because it's been on 10% for like 2 hours. There were several songs, and I had to go back as I'm driving on the Beltway in the DMV, and if anybody knows what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So The World Is Mine is a Nas and Mobb Deep song, right? And it says anything you want to happen, you can make happen. You can curate your own world. Like, if you can envision it, you can make it happen, right? Stay away from the foolishness. If you can envision it, you can make it happen. Quiet storm. Most people will never know what you are experiencing, period. Doesn't matter who they are, where they come from. What you are going through is yours to go through, right? Hate me now. People hate to love you, then they love to hate you. Right? Sit on that, write it in your journal. It gives them a sense of superiority, right? To hate you. Remember, they made that up in their mind. What they're thinking about you isn't real. It isn't real. You know, Small World. This is on Nas I Am album. So just be kind, use your connections, make most people want to help you, is my point. Most people want to help you, they want to be a part of your success story, allow them. Win or Lose, another Mobb Deep song. Once you have a certain mindset, losing isn't a real option, right? When I tell you it's not a real option, I've been through ups and downs and everything else in between. Losing isn't a real option for me, right? It may be like, oh, that hurt. Okay, how are we gonna fix this now, right? God got you. God got you. So it's not a real thing. It's like, it's just, if you receive and I heard this from Oprah, if God is stopping you from something, that just means he's pivoting you to help you get to your bottom line, right? And then a bonus, keep it thorough. Establish your values. When I establish my values, and if you guys want to talk about them, the youth, if you want to talk about them specifically, I can't do that with you, right? But I've been up here way too long. Establish your values, and for me, once I established those values, the game changed, because I never did anything that did not support those, right? And then I moved, and I still to this day move in accordance with those values. And honestly, one of those values is being a great mom. So regardless of how much she's distracting you guys in the back, she's right here with me, right? She's seeing this. So yeah, that changed the game, and education is the great equalizer. God is amazing.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Grandma. Thank you, Navia. Thank you.